Alrighty, good Friday evening, everyone. This is Senior Forecaster Cameron back here again. I'm here to go over not only the potential of some light winter precipitation as we get towards the on Tuesday, but I'm also going to give you guys somewhat of an update as we get towards your Christmas time frame, your Christmas travel time frame, and also just take a little sneak peek of what we could be dealing with as we draw closer to Christmas Day here, guys. So I'm going to start you guys off with the CPC 6 to 10 day, and I'm also going to show you the 8 to 14 day for us here in the natural state, and also for the entire country. And we are looking at near to below normal temperatures for the next 6 to 14 days for us in the natural state, and also for the central and eastern half of the country here, guys, with above normal precipitation. That does not mean snow. That just means that temperatures are going to be running a little below normal for the month of December here, based off of climatologically. So, as I said before, we're going to be looking closer and closer to Christmas here, guys. So our blogs are going to become a little more frequent as we get towards the Christmas time frame, and then we're also going to have graphics out going over your Christmas travel plans, not only for us here in Arkansas, but for the entire country, because we do know we have people that come from other states coming into the natural state here, guys. So just please be looking forward to that as we get towards the next week or so here, guys. But I'm also going to talk to you guys about what we talked about earlier, is the potential of some light winter precipitation as we get towards the day on Tuesday here, guys. And what could end up happening here. Before I get into that, I'm going to show you the 8 to 14 day real fast. And here's the 8 to 14 day. This is the week before Christmas, and we are looking at near to slightly below normal temperatures for the majority of the central and possibly even the eastern half of the country, with well above normal temperatures still forecasted for the western half, for Florida and also in Alaska, which is really good if you want cold air here in the natural state, because with that high pressure really building into Alaska, you're forcing that cold air to keep dislodging into the natural state, into the central and eastern half of the country. So that's one out of the three things you need to potentially get a white Christmas here in the natural state. But we're getting there. We got the cold air coming in place. Now we just need a storm system. We need an active storm jet, and we also need moisture to come in play before we get into the potential of a white Christmas here, guys. And also, speaking of a white Christmas, our white Christmas chances are updated daily, so please keep an eye on those as we get towards the Christmas Day here, guys. But as I said before, we're going to go ahead and talk about Tuesday here. Now, Tuesday is very interesting for the natural state here, guys, and we made a graphic earlier of two potential scenarios. Scenario one, an impulse, a little weak low pressure develops to our southwest, and it rides along the Gulf Coast, and it gets it out of here before the frontal boundary and the colder air really settles into the natural state. And there's scenario two where the impulse kind of lags behind, the cold air gets here, and with the moisture and the lift in place, you look at the potential of some light wintry precipitation, preferably across the central and southern half of the state. Only reason why I say that is because with that dry air moving in, northern Arkansas's chances of seeing winter precipitation kind of take a nosedive, guys. So we will be having updated graphics if needed this weekend as we get a better handle of what could happen on the day on Tuesday here, guys. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the NAM here. And here's the NAM model, the 0Z NAM. And whenever I show you guys these models here, take them with a grain of salt, because like I always say, models are a tool. They are a tool to be used for forecasting. It's not meant to be one model run says this and that's what's going to happen here, guys. So what I'm showing you here is just a representation of what the NAM model is wanting to do, especially as we get towards Tuesday. And here we go. Here we are. There's that frontal boundary comes through. No severe weather is expected with this frontal boundary. I know Monday's temperatures are going to be in the 60s to low 70s across central and south Arkansas, but no severe weather is expected with this frontal boundary, given that we will have poor lapse rates. But here we are as we get towards late Monday night and early Tuesday morning here. Your frontal boundary is pushing into South Arkansas here, and I'm going to show you something real fast here. There's your precipitation here, and your frontal boundary, I'm going to show you here in just a second. It should load up for me here real quickly here. Sorry about that. There we go. Alright, and there's your frontal boundary here. So your precipitation is kind of post-frontal, which is something that you would need and you want to get winter precipitation here in the natural state. is you want the precipitation to kind of hang along and kind of behind the front boundary with that colder air really filtering in. And here we are Tuesday morning here, and the front boundaries in South Arkansas. You've got sub-freezing air across far northwestern Arkansas, temperatures in the 30s and 40s in central and north Arkansas, and in 40s and 50s in South Arkansas. Now, this is where it's going to get a little important here, guys, and this is where, let me see if I can go here real fast. There we are. 850 millibar temperatures. And this is where it gets important, because if your sub-freezing air, your 540 millibar line kind of gets hung up in the mountains, then your impulse is going to move through on Tuesday, and it's going to be predominantly a rain event for central and South Arkansas. The one thing that kind of concerns me in terms of the whole winter weather potential here in the natural state is that this air is going to be very, very shallow. It's not going to be this deep Arctic air that's going to come down and drop our temperatures drastically. Yes, it's going to get cold, but this air is not going to be the coldest that we've seen so far, as the brunt of the cold air will likely miss us towards the northeast here, guys. So the question remains, can the cold air get here in time for that impulse to take advantage of and produce some winter precipitation across the central and southern half of the state? Or does the cold air get hung up in the mountains of northwest Arkansas and keeps the winter precipitation chances from happening, and you just look at a plain old rain event if you were to go with that particular scenario here, guys? So, as I said before, that's something that we're going to keep an eye on here for you guys this upcoming weekend. But overall, a very cold and rainy days in store for the central and central half of the state on Tuesday, as temperatures will struggle to get out of the 30s regardless of what happens, if you get winter precipitation or not. Temperatures will struggle to get out of the 30s and low 40s for highs here, guys. But I'm going to go over to the GFS here, and this is the 0Z GFS here. I may have to step back to the 12Z here in a little bit, but this is the 0Z GFS here, and the GFS just now getting towards Monday night and early Tuesday morning here, and the GFS has been the most aggressive in terms of showing the potential of winter precipitation here. So I'm going to show you here's the 12Z real quick, and the 12Z brings that winter precipitation in late Monday night and early Tuesday morning here, and this is as a result of the colder air really filtering in fast. And this is where the GFS is at its worst, is that the GFS is typically the cold bias model. So it gets the cold air here really quickly. The cold air is already in place, and the impulse just takes advantage of the cold air, and you get this widespread swath of snow for central and South Arkansas and even eastern Arkansas here Tuesday afternoon. It gets it out of here Tuesday night, with accumulations light but still being there, temperatures falling below freezing as you get towards Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning here. So the 12Z GFS is like I said before, has a lot of questions with it, because like I said before, this air mass is going to be very, very shallow in nature. So with normally 9 times out of 10, whenever you're dealing with that, it gets hummed up in the mountains, and it has a hard time getting into central and South Arkansas. So given that the best cold air could be across North Arkansas and your best moisture could be in South Arkansas, the clash on the mix between the two could put central at the potential of seeing some winter precipitation as you get towards late Monday night, early Tuesday morning here, and the impulse be getting out of here as you get towards the day on Tuesday here, guys. So that's something that we're gonna keep a close eye out for you guys here. And I'm just gonna look at the 0Z real fast. And I'm not sure the 0Z is out that a little further. Now here's the 0Z, okay, and this is what I was talking about before, that the 0Z is now suggesting even more winter precipitation across the central half of the state here, guys, because with all this moisture and that colder air really filtering in, that's where you're going to have a chance of seeing winter precipitation here Monday night and early Tuesday morning here, guys. So that's something that we're going to be keeping an eye on here. But right now, the NAM and the GFS is kind of arguing with each other. The short range is arguing with the GFS right now. So we will be keeping an update here, guys. Like I said before, if the situation calls for it, we will have winter precipitation maps out if needed, accumulation maps out if needed. But right now, we need to see how this is going to play out, and I need to see how guidance is going to do over the weekend before we jump into what's going to happen on Tuesday here, guys. So, like I said before, I do appreciate you guys tuning in to this blog tonight. We're going to be keeping an eye on Tuesday, and I'm going to take you guys out before I end this blog. I'm going to take you guys out to long range here. And this is a 12Z GFS. It's very, very long range, past 240 hours out here. But I want to tackle this because I've been seeing this float around on social media a lot. Is this potential system as we get towards late next weekend, into the week before Christmas time frame. And what it wants to do is wants to bring this very powerful system into the natural state where you would have the potential of ice in North Arkansas, snow in the Midwest, and a predominantly rain event for South Arkansas. Now, not saying the GFS is going to be right on this, okay? And I said before, past 10 days, I normally just ignore it because the accuracy takes a nosedive past 240 hours out here, guys. We already have enough trouble getting to 10 days. Past 10 days, the accuracy just goes down the drain here. But if this particular scenario were to play out, this would be more of a catalyst system for us in the natural state because it would put a snowpack down in the Midwest. That would have happened. Any system that would have taken advantage of that cold air in place would lead to the potential of winter precipitation here, guys. So that's something to keep an eye on here. The pattern does support it. I'd like to see the colder pattern in place, and that's what normally I pay attention to whenever I'm looking at long-range guidance. I normally disregard any precipitation maps. I don't really look at any potential storm systems that far along. What I look at is the pattern. I want to see what the long-range guidance wants to do with the pattern because that makes the overall difference. That tells the story right there on what happens here, guys. So, as I said before, if you were to go with the 12Z GFS, you may make a run for a white Christmas. Depending on what happens, it's a wait and see because what ends up happening is another storm system wants to develop as you get towards that Sunday before Christmas here, guys, and we could look at the potential of seeing a white Christmas if you were to go with that particular run, but I don't buy it right now. I'd like to get a little closer before I buy something that far along, but I do like the pattern. I do see that we will have below normal temperatures at least for that Christmas time frame here, guys. But I'm going to take you guys to the 0Z GFS real fast just to show you what's going on here. And this is what the 0Z GFS does. And this is a little more different than the 12Z was. 12Z was further south. The 0Z is further north. What ends up happening is that cold air kind of gets hung up a little bit. Your moisture is there. And you look at a predominantly snow event for north and central Arkansas, and South Arkansas gets all rain. So, as said before, it's still a wait and see because the NAM is further south. What's concerning me for North Arkansas right now is dry air intrusion. What happens with that dry air is going to be the very question on who sees what on Tuesday here, guys. But as said before, we're going to be here to keep you guys updated here. And one more thing I want to show you guys before I leave is the European model. And the European model says South Arkansas at best here, guys. So there is considerable disagreements on the potential winter precipitation in the natural state. We will be here to keep you guys updated on the latest on Tuesday and also keep you guys updated on anything that wants to occur as we get towards the Christmas time frame. We will have several blogs out getting towards Christmas, and I will also have another blog out by this time tomorrow going over what could happen on Tuesday here, guys. So I thank you guys for tuning in to this video tonight here, guys, and y'all have a great rest of your Friday evening.